then we retain the purview to decide how things move forward relative to their remains. Is that what you're saying? You're not trying to stop.
That discussion would be with the descendants who are here,
Right.
you know.
But you're not, I just want to make clear, you're not here to try.
No, we're not here to hinder
You're just wanting to be
anything.
involved on behalf of
We're
the
just committing to be
descendants of your
involved
citizens.
in the immediate step.
Okay, I wanted to.
As an observer.
Yeah, right. And we
Because
want
our history, this history wasn't told or part of this, and it's an important, you know, it's another unknown that needs to be known.
So I completely agree with you. On the murder investigation side, we are still approaching it that way. The challenge is that this is a murder investigation that's 99 years old, not a week old. And with that come legal issues that I'm happy to visit with you about after this meeting. I don't want to get into right now. When the person that we may have those legal issues with might be watching this on
But there's no timeline on a murder investigation, correct?
That's correct. But we are, that's why we're focused on this. All of our legal options remain on the table on this. And if I, for a minute, think that we're not making progress on getting a resolution on Rolling Oaks, then we will follow through on our other options. No, Reverend, I listened
Yes,
to
it
you
will.
talk for 10 minutes. Please let me talk. Let me
That's what
talk.
they're saying, that's what they're saying.
Will you please let me talk? This isn't a debate. We're all on the same, we all want the same thing. I know you don't think we do, but we do. The issue here is one of timing and balancing that with our legal ability to get things done. And I know that there isn't a single person in this room, I'm going to imagine, who's happy with the progress that's been made in the last month. But progress has been made in the last month. And we have a plan to move forward. We have the property owner's lawyer telling us that they're on board. We just have to get that signature and move forward in April. And we will continue to work on that as best we can. And again, we're keeping all of our legal options on the table. That remains at our purview and our ability to follow through. So, to your question, are we making progress? Well, I know we're spending a lot of time tonight talking about Rolling Oaks. In about a month, we'll be further in this investigation than we've ever been in Oak Lawn with this test excavation to determine what's there. And I also want to make clear, whether it's the discussion with our colleagues in the Muskogee Creek Nation or it's relative to the Spanish flu, the test excavation in Oak Lawn is proceeding. Nothing is derailing that. I think the point that's being made is simply, we don't know what's down there, which is why we have to do a test excavation. That's the point of it, is to determine what's there, and then hopefully once we know, then come back to this group and determine the right way to move forward. But we are making progress. I know that it seems slow and gradual, but it's because we want to do all of this the right way. We don't want to get mad and violate the law. We don't want to rush something that shouldn't be rushed. And so we will just keep putting one foot in front of the other and proceeding forward, which we are doing. And I get the
What's
frustration.
our rights as a city, if this is a murder investigation, that we have to be able to move forward?
And we are.
But what's our rights? It's like we're dependent on other people. Like I said, if this was eminent domain, they would have had whatever property they wanted and moved on forward. So as I watch and I see this, you know, I work with city attorneys. I mean, matter of fact, we should have had our city attorney here to explain this process to us. And exactly, it's a matter of having that individual sit at the table and saying, this is what we're demanding. And if he doesn't do it within an ample amount of time, then as the city of Tulsa, we're going to move forward and do what we need to do with or without you. Because here's our rights, being that this is a murder investigation. It's been over 100 years. There's no limit of statutation on. But we're sitting back and we're playing nice guys, which because like I said, you know, I'm city of Tulsa. This is based on the rich versus the poor, black versus white. They know what's out there. So I even did some research, the former mayor had some input in that property as well. So, like I said, how can we get with the city attorney to put the pressure on them to go on to the next step? We're just sitting here playing nice guys.
Mr. Mayor.
The city attorney has been in those meetings with them, with the chair, and with Amy and other.
Has he ever been here to explain it to us?
No, he hasn't come to these meetings.
But we're hearing it through a
He's
third
been in once
party.
with the property owner to make sure that they understand that we do have our legal.
Have you expressed to the city attorney your, what's the word I'm looking for, to get this done in an expedient manner?
Repeat, yes.
Well, Mr. Mayor, back in August, you stated about the Rolling Oaks and that we will get something done. And if we need to subpoena, it's your word, we will subpoena. But we want to do it the other route, of getting their permission because the subpoena would take too long. I don't know how a subpoena could take longer than 8 months because it's March today. Second thing, if this is a murder investigation, as I stated from the very beginning, where is the evidence that was turned in to the Tulsa Police Department back in 1973? I've asked you about that at every meeting we've had, and it's always been, I talked to the chief, that's when it was Chief Jordan. He said it was 40 years ago, and we still, that's not even on the agenda, have heard anything about that today. And as you cut her off as she was trying to answer your question, she did state if they do find the remains of this individual, then they will have to look at their jurisdiction versus what the city has. And that could complicate matters.
Right. Sure, but they have their right on behalf of their descendants to do that.
Absolutely.
That's my point, but they're not trying to derail our.
But they could possibly do that.
There are lots of things they could possibly.
But that's not what you like.
Could I break in a second? I'm sorry. Can you guys still hear me? Can I break in a moment?
Yep.
Because, I'm sorry, I'm gonna time out here. I get the anxiety. We're not trying to cover anything up. We're just not. We've made great progress, and as a member of the Fiscal Evidence Committee, I assure you, we are 100% on board with finding these individuals, finding our dead. And the representative from the Muskogee Creek Nation is not interfering. I have worked on past excavations with a native observer, and they do literally observe and give instant advice instead of having to run around and ask, what do you think this artifact is, or is it an artifact, when preservation issues are at hand. I prefer to have an observer there. The reality, however, is that we could find remains from any individual while trying to get down to the level we need for our test pit. That's just a consequence of cemeteries and any burial we run into, no matter how African descent or European descent the individual may be. Any burial we run into while trying to get to the edges of our test pit will cause a delay. But finding such a burial does not mean we're not 100% on board. We're 100% on board. And mainly because I'm probably going to leave before you can make a reply, I'm just going to say two things. This event is screaming. I, for one, would not be surprised if part of our difficulty with getting a signature has to do with watching the response every time that this committee has to report we don't have that signature. I'll just put that out there. And then the second thing is, man, I'm so annoyed by that first one, I lost my train of thought. But please give us the benefit of the doubt, the mayor, Amy, your Fiscal Evidence Committee. We're not trying to jerk anyone around. We're just not. You know, we're just not interested in that. I'm not saying that does not happen, but we are not cats playing with the mice. So please recognize our progress. Oh, now I remember, that evidence from the police office, that is triple hearsay to us. Triple, meaning it may never have existed. It's a report from a possibly disgruntled ex-police officer we have no physical indication that stuff exists. We can't squeeze information out of anybody. We're not going to get them. But we do have enough information from reliable people and their narratives to go forward with the scenes we have. And we've been doing that and we'll continue to do that. So I've been watching this stream. I do think we may have an issue with the streaming versus the response rate on the signature. And I'm just hoping after this, we will eventually get a signature. But we have a team of the size where we can handle it long from now, and if we get the Rolling Oaks one in a little while afterwards, then we won't have to deal with excavating dueling sites at the same time. Think of it like that. Okay, well, I'll try and linger for a moment longer, but I had to get that in there. But I do respect your opinions. I just want to reiterate, we're not sure. We're just not.
The one other thing I would add on the subpoena issue, I'll just be totally open. The challenge on that, and with it being 99 years old and getting a search warrant or anything else, is we can pursue trying to get the agreement with the property owner, which we believe we essentially have. We just need them to sign the document, the contract. And if we can't get that, we can pursue the search warrant and move forward on that track. The challenge of that is that we're trying to get a search warrant on a scene from 99 years ago, and we could lose in that before a judge. And if we lose before a judge on that, it's over. There is no search at all.
But Mr. Ross
And
has so much documentation to show.
And I hope that the judge would agree with me. But what I've learned the hard way in dealing with courts is that it doesn't always go the way that you think or believe it should go. And so I'm trying to minimize our risk by getting this resolved amicably, even though it's taking more time than any of us would have wanted. But those are the things that we're trying to balance in doing it with